Mace, I'm sure you don't want to spend too much time talking about July, but I guess
Yeah.
what exactly happened there? And kind of what was that week like for you?
Yeah. I mean, so I injured myself in camp. Originally, it's probably about 3 weeks before the fight, and it was the last 10 seconds of like my last round for that night. Yeah, I know. Like it's something that would definitely happen to me. And so I went to throw a front kick, and the girl that I was sparring with the last 10 seconds picked her leg up, and I like hit it with the bottom of my foot. And it kind of like jolted my ankle and my foot. And I was like, okay, like, cool. Like, I've kicked elbows, like, I've kicked knees, you know. I've had surgeries on my leg from checking and stuff like that. So, I mean, it hurt, but it wasn't anything that I haven't experienced before. But I noticed like later on that night it started tingling pretty bad, and then when I woke up the next day it was swollen. The side of my foot was like purple, black, blue, and then when I went to step and put weight on it, it was like excruciating. It was honestly like everything as far as like walking, running, bouncing on my foot. So basically fighting. And movement, which I'm a very elusive, like movement-oriented fighter. So I went to my chiropractor. They did some ultrasound on it. He's like, I think it's a deep bone bruise. Initially, that's what he thought. And so we scraped it, and we were working ultrasound and red light. I was on ice baths and stuff like that. And then I noticed that it just wasn't getting better. Walking was difficult. Pivoting, twisting, anything weight bearing on it was difficult. I mean, I couldn't run at all, and any sort of ladder work was like just no, right? So, what he suggested next was like, let's get an X-ray just to kind of rule out any like really bad breaks, right? Because I noticed it wasn't like the swelling had went down and it wasn't as swollen anymore. So we got an X-ray. The X-ray came back negative, like they didn't see anything. All right, so like a week goes by. I cast my foot. I'm putting it in a wrestling shoe to fight. I'm not even sparring with shin guards because I can't pick up my leg and put it back down. So I basically like just fought like very flat-footed, you know? I mean, it worked for a while. I mean, we made it work. And then the following week, I went to get a cortisol shot because like I was still in pain. So I was like, we had decided that we were going to fight, my coach and I, even though I was in a lot of pain. And so I was like, okay, let me just get a cortisol shot, and that'll, you know, alleviate the pain. It won't make it better, but it'll make it feel better. So the DO that's injecting me was like, you know, like, you're just in a lot of pain for something to be like a bone bruise. He's like, I think you probably have a stress fracture. Like, you should go get an MRI. So I got the injection. I went to the MRI, scanned it, results came back, stress fracture, and so it just really couldn't have time to heal because I was constantly on it, you know? So we were able to manipulate it a little bit better, recovery and stuff like that. Still was going to hyperbarics 3 times a week, so that helped. Come fight week, I'm able to like move on it pretty well. I still had it taped. Like, I mean, every time I would train, like my foot would be completely casted because without tape, it would hurt really bad. And so Thursday we were doing a little bit of mitts, and I threw a really like, I'm not gonna lie, like a shitty kick, awkward with my foot, and then I put it down, and I was like, it's bad. So like 10 out of 10. I mean, there were times in my camp when I would do rounds and I would just go to like drive up with an underhook off the ball of my foot and twist, and I would be on the floor. I mean, it was very excruciating pain. So, and we were 100% locked in and ready to fight. But I mean, I can't, like, when I'm fighting someone like this, of this caliber, like grappling wise and wrestling and clinch work, it's just my foot. It has to be 100%.
In retrospect, I mean, do you take lessons? Like, do you wish you would have just said 3 weeks out or whatever, like, this is not going to work? Or do you feel like you took the right step?
Right. So, I mean, we didn't get the MRI back until that Monday. That's when we got our results back, Monday of fight week. So 3 weeks ago, it would have been like, F it, like, let's just do it. But it didn't get better over time, you know?
So what?
And look at Connor's leg. Connor had a stress fracture in his shin.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm ready to see my foot completely like backwards or forwards or sideways. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I've been through a lot of shit, but I don't know if I'm ready for that though.
Oh, definitely not. So talk to me about getting from then to now. So did you just have to take some time off, or what?
Yeah.
Nothing else other than just rest is basically all you could do.
Yeah. So they he suggested 6 weeks, and we were able to get back to normal 3 weeks, so 4 weeks, and then we went and did a whole nother camp.
Nice. Was it important for you to keep this matchup together? I mean, did it matter? Or
yes. Yeah, 100%. This is the fight that I want. I want to fight this girl. I'm not ducking this girl. Like, I'm ready to do this shit. I just, I'm tired of hearing her flapping her lips. Like, I'm ready to do it. And if I didn't want to fight this girl, I wouldn't be back here. I wouldn't go through this shit all again. I've been in camp for 5-6 months, and I fought in March, at the end of March. I'm ready to do this. So they can say all they want. People can say this and that. I'm here. I'm ready. Like, I'm cutting weight, I'll be there Saturday.
Has it become a little bit personal for you, this matchup?
It's, like, not personal because it's, like, I guess in a sense, she just has a lot of shit to say when she's done a lot of shit. So, I just know specifically that she's definitely pulled out of fights the day of, and it happens. Like, I don't disrespect someone for that. Like, if you're sick, you have injuries, like, it's all good. Like, it's classless if you're gonna talk shit about that. Especially if you've been in those shoes, you think you'd understand. So that's where it gets a little personal for me, is like the integrity behind it. But other than that, it's just business. Like, this is what I do. I love doing this shit. Like, I live this fucking life. Like, I could give a shit less what people think of me on social media. Like, I'll delete all my shit because all I care about is fighting. That's all I do is fight, eat, sleep, wake up, fight. And I'm in this like this realm, this mode where it's just like it's gonna continue on and on. Like, I do this shit. I do it.
As you said, like a second camp for the same opponent. Did you guys adjust anything? Did you change any like strategies, tactics, anything by having more time to prep, or was it just keep doing what you were doing?
Well, I was able to like up my endurance and cardio and stuff, and now I'm able to run and move and stuff like that. So it is it's the same fight, like same tactics, but I'm just able to do what I do. Yeah.
I guess last thing for me, we talked about last time, the stakes here, but does it still feel like big moment, big breakout, top ranking type thing? Does this feel like a big spot for you?
It is a really big spot for me, but I don't want to put that type of like thought in my head because it's just another day, it's another fight, right? And I'm here because I love it. I love doing this shit. And I'm happy, and I've been happy all camp, even though like it's been, it's been long, but I am enjoying it. I'm in the process. And just like I said, like I do this stuff. So it's like, yeah, it's a big opportunity for me. And I understand that. I know that. But my perspective is that I'm ready to go in there and I'm ready to put on a really good fight. I'm willing to die in there. Like I really am. I really am. So.
Macy, to your right, thanks for taking the time. That quote's fantastic, by the way. Eat, sleep, wake up, fight. That should be on a shirt. How do you keep the emotions out of there? It might get personal, social media, yada, yada, but how do you keep those in check come Saturday night?
It's hard. It's tough. Like, when I like did a little social media bickering with, somebody who had like a YouTube post of like Aspen's interview in which she was like talking a little bit of smack or whatever, or just flapping her lips. And yeah, it like upsets me. It I'm like, dude, I'm ready to go now. Like, let's go now, But, I got a lot of people who would message me and be like, don't let that affect you. And I'm like, okay, well, you don't know how things affect me though. Some things affect people a certain way and they react a certain way, right? Like, yeah, it's going to add more fuel to my fire, right? I'm not going to get emotional in a sense where I'm going to go out there and start swinging like a psychopath and forget everything that I've ever been working on, these past few months. But it definitely adds something. It adds a little bit of heart, right? And it's like if I need that 10, that 5, that 3% at the end of a third round, a hard round, it's going to be there, right? Because that's going to be the thought that I go back to.
Excellent, love it. And to add into the game, with the injury, was that able to open up a few doors and you say, okay, now I'm going to work on my southpaw stance more, and I'm going to tidy up my conventional? Did it help you tweak a couple things, having, with the injury, like a hindsight?
Yeah, I mean, I improved. I mean, I think I improved in certain areas. Maybe my stamina, my endurance. I was able to grapple a lot more at a faster pace. I mean, I was still grappling. I didn't have to wear a shoe, so that was good. But yeah, I mean, extra work as far as like the workload. I was able to put in a little bit more work, so that's always good. But other than that, I mean, the game plan is still the same, But I do feel like this camp, I was able to, be a little bit more well-rounded in my rounds, and really improve all over, just as a mixed martial artist, Maybe not like, okay, I just grappled all the time. No, like mixing in strikes in certain areas, breaking off, doing this in certain situations, So I was able to put it together a little bit better, now that I wasn't thinking so much about my foot and putting weight on my foot, or can I pivot when I do this, So I didn't have to think about all that. I just was focused on all my rounds.
Sounds great. The shoes are dope, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I waited until to get here to unbox them, so that was hard.
Worth the wait. Good luck on Saturday.
Yeah, thank you.
Macy, I know you said it's just another fight, but she's still the number 2 in the division. What do you think could be next for you if you manage to win on Saturday? I
don't know. I got something I'm thinking about, but I don't wanna like say it ahead of time. I'm waiting for a special moment. But yeah, I got some things that I have in mind, and like I said in other interviews, like I'm fighting at 35 because 35 is what I told myself I was doing, and I'm already kind of on that road to where I want to be. But I'm also not opposed to fighting up a weight class in between fights. So I got something kind of in mind there. Not going to talk about it just yet, but yeah.
You're going to be watching Holly?
Yeah. Be watching her. Be watching that fight with Norma Dumont.
Thank you.
Yeah. All good? Perfect. Cool. Thanks, guys.